Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Rahul. I'm doing a 90-day challenge where I post one YouTube video every week, mainly to build consistency and hold myself accountable in public. This is my 8th video. Before we begin, quick disclaimer. I'm not a financial professional and this is not financial advice. I'm simply sharing what I've learned so far from personal experience, reading, and trying to get better with money over time. In this video, I want to share 7 financial rules that I think are genuinely useful, especially if you're just getting started and you want a simple framework to follow without overthinking everything. Rule number 1, the 50-20-20-10 rule. The first rule is a simple way to split your income. 50% goes into needs, 20% goes into your investments, 20% goes into your wants, and the remaining 10% goes into your emergency fund. Your needs are the basics: rent, groceries, utilities, transportation, insurance, and anything that keeps your life functioning. Your wants are things that make life enjoyable: dining out, small experiences, hobbies, shopping, travel, coffee outings, whatever matters to you, as long as it stays within a limit. Investments can be things like ETFs, retirement accounts, stocks, precious metals, or anything you're using to build your future. And then the emergency fund is the buffer that protects you when life gets unpredictable. This rule won't be perfect for everyone, but it gives you a starting point. It's a simple default plan that helps you stop negotiating with yourself every month. Your first goal is awareness. When you can see where your money goes, everything becomes easier to change. Rule number 2, emergency fund. So the second rule is about emergencies. Once you know your monthly needs, multiply that number by 6. This gives you a simple emergency fund target. The goal here is safety, not returns. So this money is meant for real emergencies. Things like job loss, unexpected travel, a sudden bill, car repairs, medical costs, or anything that you did not plan for. And one mindset that helps is this: if you take money out of your emergency fund, you treat it like a temporary loan from yourself and you rebuild it as soon as you reasonably can. That way, the fund stays reliable and it stays ready. A high interest saving account is usually a good place for an emergency fund because the point is access and safety. Rule 3 is about credit card utilization. A simple guideline is to keep your utilization low, and a common benchmark people use is staying under 30% of your limit. So if your credit limit is $1,000, you try not to carry a balance above $300. Now, the easiest way to keep this simple is to pay your card in full and avoid carrying a balance month after month. Credit cards can be useful tools, but only when you control them, not when they control you. Rule 4 is about debt. In general, I see debt as something that should be handled before you start trying to grow your investments aggressively, especially if it's high interest debt. There are 2 popular methods to pay down debt. The first one is the snowball method, which means you pay off the smallest debt first. And you get quick wins and motivation, and then you roll that payment into the next debt. The second method is avalanche method. So this means you pay off the debt first with the highest interest rate. This is usually the most efficient method financially because it reduces the most expensive debt first. Both methods work. The best method is the one you'll actually stick with consistently. Rule 5 is about renting. So a common guideline is to keep housing costs within a reasonable percentage of your take-home income. Many people use ranges like 25 to 30% depending on the city and the situation. The main point is this: housing is usually the biggest expense, so if rent is too high, everything else becomes harder. If you can keep your rent within a manageable range, saving and investing becomes much easier. Rule 6 is finding your big number. This is the number that represents financial freedom for you. It's the amount of money you would need invested so that in theory, you could cover your lifestyle without depending fully on a paycheck. It doesn't mean you stop working, it means you have options. The reason I like having a big number is because it gives your investing a purpose. Instead of investing randomly, you're working toward a clear destination. And yes, this topic can go deeper because your big number depends on your lifestyle, your expenses, your timeline, and your risk tolerance. But even having a rough number is better than having none. So let me know in the comments below if you would want me to make a separate video on this topic. The final rule is the rule of 72. It's a simple way to estimate for how many years it takes your money to double at a given rate of return. You take 72 and divide it by your annual return percentage. So, if you assume a 7% return, 72 divided by 7 is about 10. So that means your money could roughly double in about 10 years. If the return is 9%, it's about 8 years. So play around with this formula and you can get your numbers. It's not a perfect calculation, but it's a useful mental model because it helps you respect time and patience instead of expecting fast results. So those are the 7 financial rules that I think are generally useful if you're building a solid foundation. You can take a screenshot. If you're watching this and you're just starting, my suggestion is to pick one of the rules and apply it this month instead of trying to do everything at once. And if you have your own money rules or something you follow that works well for you, share it in the comments below. I'd love to learn from you as well. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. This is my 8th video in the 90-day challenge and I'll see you in the next one.